Nothing yet. I gotta get signed in. Sorry if I'm a little late. Not much, D-Man. Hey, Nature Fan 101, how are you? Oh. Ooh. What's the horror game? I had bought a game a few years ago on the Plague, and you played two kids. I forget the name of it. Ooh, sounds interesting. Oh, those are the best. Okay. Oh, nice. Usually, if I see deer, it's like because I've looked out the window because I woke up late or early. That is what I heard. I heard you guys were supposed to be getting really cold weather. Hopefully, you didn't have to dodge any iguanas. Am I? Nope. Well, that's good. Thank you. I try my best to look as good as I can. Okay, switch accounts. No. View channel. Apparently, I don't know what my fingers are doing. Oh, well, that's cool. Okay, I need to figure out how to do this. I gotta get a poll set up. Oh. That's crazy. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get this poll set up and it's taking me a little bit longer this morning or this afternoon. I suppose so. I thought we had already done it. And I thought it was for a video. Okie dokie. With as far back as I have some things planned, I think forgetting things is probably the least of my worries. What type of animal actor do you think is the hardest to train for a film? Dogs, big cats, primates? Hey everyone, and today we are diving into the incredible and sometimes dark history of Hollywood's most famous four-legged stars. We've seen the no animals were harmed disclaimer at the end of the credits, but have you ever wondered why that's become a rule in the first place? We're going to find out. From the heroics of Rin Tin Tin, who literally saved a movie studio, to the tragic events on the sets of classics like Ben-Hur and Jesse James, we're looking at the legends, the rescues, the moments that forced Hollywood to change for the better. Grab a seat and let's talk about animals who made movie magic. We are not covering every single animal. We're not going to cover every single star that is out there, but we definitely will be covering some of them. So, with that in mind, let's do this. So, there are tons of animal actors out there. We're going to look at some of them, as well as talk about some movies in which maybe things could have gone a little bit better for the animals in those films. The first one we're going to mention is the German Shepherd who starred in Rin Tin Tin. He was actually a rescue from World War I. And he was literally rescued from a battlefield in 1918. And it said that Rin Tin Tin was bringing in around $6,000 a year. I don't think that's right. See if I can find that. No, it was $6,000 per week. I knew that wasn't right. It was $6,000 a week, equivalent to well over $80,000 today. He actually saved Warner Brothers Studios from bankruptcy. And he even had a personal chef. His appearance in these films helped to boost the breed's popularity, which actually took a nosedive during these wars because of the connection to Germany. From tarantulas in Home Alone to monkeys, Hollywood has used all types of animals in their movies. You may know him as Old Yeller, but his real name was Spike. And like the dog who played Rin Tin Tin, he was also a rescue. We cannot forget Moose, aka Eddie, on Frasier. There is Crystal, the Capuchin monkey, who starred in Night at the Museum, The Hangover Part 2, and We Bought a Zoo. And then there is Terry, a female terrier who had 16 film credits to her name. And one of them was a very well-loved movie called The Wizard of Oz. Fun fact, Terry is a female and Toto, well, his role, her role as Toto, male. It is said that Judy Garland wanted to adopt her, but the owner and trainer refused to hear it. Remember Buddy, the golden retriever? He too was a stray. Now you may not know the name Golden Cloud, but you may know him by his stage name, Me Too, Mr. Slamby. Me too, because the one I have, yeah. Golden Cloud appeared in over 80 films and 101 Roy Rogers shows, TV shows. When Trigger, aka Golden Cloud, died, he was taxidermied and kept at a museum, and then he was sold for $266,000. Well, I'm sorry, $2,066,000 $500. Bamboo Harvester was the horse who played Mr. Ed. Then there's Gidget, the Chihuahua from the ever-famous Taco Bell commercials. And while all of those animals are super, super famous, Hollywood has had some moments where they probably shouldn't have used animals in their films, but they did. In Ben-Hur, that is the original Ben-Hur, during the big chariot race, they had 100 horses that were killed or had to be killed. In the charge of the Light Brigade, tripwires were set up to make horses fall. 125 horses tripped over those wires. 25 of those horses had to be euthanized due to their injuries. And this is the film, this next one is the film that changed Hollywood, hopefully for the better. In the movie Jesse James, 2 horses had blinders put on them with fake eyes painted on their blinders, and they were tricked into going over a very high place. Needless to say, they didn't survive that. And it was after that incident that Hollywood was forced into changing their tune when it came to animal safety. But that doesn't mean that things were good and great. In the life of Pi, a Bengal tiger nearly drowned. I'm going to have to look that up, D-Man. And I will. In the Hobbit trilogy, there were a bunch of animals that were used in the film that were not housed properly. And outside of filming, they died. And they weren't filming at the time, so they were not flagged for that incident. During filming of the Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, they detonated explosions in the ocean. And for 4 days after that movie, for 4 days after the shooting, they had sea life coming in on the shores. And Stagecoach, the horses had wires attached to their legs, and when they wanted the horses to fall down, they would just yank those wires and the legs went out from under the horses. These are just some of the issues with animals in film. Another thing that you see sometimes in Hollywood is the ever popular scene in oh my goodness. If he pops that up again, somebody get a screenshot of that. In the movie Dracula, pretty famous scene, they actually use possums with armadillos in the opening scenes with Dracula coming out of his coffin. Yes, possums and armadillos. none of which, by the way, are native to Transylvania. And then there's Tarzan. One of the newer I think it was on the CW. It wasn't. No, that's not right. It's not the one with Tremmel. Tarzan. And this is what I love. TV shows where the action is taking place in one area, but the animals don't necessarily match up, which is a little bit ridiculous. I'm trying to find. There was one in particular that featured, and now I can't find it, but there was a Tarzan show that had animals from, well, it's not super recent. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find. I don't think it was Epic Adventures. No, that's not right. It was Tarzan with Wolf Larson. And that show a resident mountain lion? I don't have anything from Tarzan necessarily. They did have to remove one of the Tarzan actors had big cats that had to be removed from their home. Steven Sipic, they removed tigers and leopards from his home. Rhesus monkeys were imported for an early Tarzan films in the 1930s. Those escaped and established feral populations in Florida's Ocala National Forest. Yeah. Oh, no. It was in Africa. The film was set in Africa. Um, oh, I don't know them. I'll have to go back and look at that. In Eight Below, there was supposedly a husky dog that was punched repeatedly. Um, and that um yeah, they don't, just because it's a modern movie doesn't mean that it's free from issues. There was one movie that involved baby golden labs, and they were exposed to Paro virus, and some of them died because of it. I don't know if that could have been prevented or not. That's possible. Sometimes the animals are in situations at the training facility, where they are not really cared for properly. And that presents problems, because if an animal is not being treated right at the if the animals aren't treated right by the trainer, yes, And I don't know if that's the same Capuchin that was in Night at the Museums or not. But Capuchins are used a lot in different films. Nowadays, they're getting away from what about the monkeys? And even in some of the Disney films, or not the Disney films, but the um in some of the Tarzan shows, there were problems. I don't know it. Basement Jack's Where's Your Head at video. Oh, CGI. They were a combination of CGI and real chimps. It sounds really weird. So they use CGI. But I don't. Yeah, I'm not getting any. I don't see any. Uh, let's see if there's anything. Yeah, I don't have anything that comes out and talks about abuse on them. But yeah, Hollywood is definitely bonkers. in the chat, tell me if your current pet was cast in a Hollywood movie tomorrow, what type of film would they be in, and what would their stage name be? Cyrus would be in a comedy, I feel like. And I feel like his name should be something like Blockhead. Yeah, Blockhead. Which reminds me, they drove me nuts today. Which I'm not going to talk about it, but it drove me nuts. It's amazing to see how far we've come from the days of tripwires and stagecoach to the incredible CGI that we see today that keeps our animal friends safe. These animals gave us some of the most iconic moments in cinema history, and they deserve to be remembered for more than just their performances. Thank you guys for hanging out and sharing your stories today. If you love deep dives into film history, I'm not going to say that. Make sure you hit that follow button and subscribe so you never miss a session of live. Your engagement and support mean the world to me and help keep the lives going. Until next time, give your pets an extra treat from me. Yes, and I think that's the one. I think that's the one where they had I think that's the one where they had the puppies and they were exposed to parvo and it killed a bunch of them. There was one, I read about one account and I don't remember the show. I think it was, there was an incident where an animal bit an actor, and because they bit the actor, it was beaten. I'm like, really? Let's see. In White Wilderness in 1958, the show is the most prominent example of alleged abuse under Disney's watch, where filmmakers determined to show lemmings committing the S word, bought them and forced them off of a cliff. That was confirmed by family members. No, they don't really do that, but they did that in Disney, like for Disney film. So Disney under um Disney under Walt Disney um was not necessarily spick and spam either. Okay, I'm not too worried about as long as it doesn't get bloody. I don't know of any like oh. So in Mr. Ed, which I don't know if everybody knows that movie, but trainers used nylon threads to make the horse's lips move, a trick he eventually learned to do without, debunking the peanut butter myth. The Hangover. Real tiger scenes were filmed with the cats leashed to the floor and actors reacting to it. Roar, which was mentioned earlier, um, ended up with 70 injuries, including severe ones to two of the ladies in the movie. Yes, Bart was in quite a few. So Marcel From Friends, you may know of Ross's monkey. Yes, that was Marcel. The monkey was actually not a boy. Um, Hedwig, I'm thinking I'm pronouncing it right, from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, was 7 different owls, or was played by 7 different owls. Oh. The cat from the Princess Diaries, I don't know if you've seen that movie, literally belonged to Anne Hathaway. The dog in the Grinch movie, the first Grinch movie, Max was played by 6 different rescue dogs. The squirrels from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, those were all real snakes. Or nature fan. The squirrels from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory were all real. The rational Mr. Timothy received 40 squirrels ready to sit and crack nuts onto a conveyor belt after 16 weeks of being trained to do so. Or 19 weeks. Aye, aye, aye. Hagrid's dog in Harry Potter was named Hugo. No, they're not being hidden. And Friday the 13th, they unalived a snake. Ew. The horses in Lord of the Rings that were with Aragorn, the actor actually adopted those horses. He adopted 3 of them. And yeah, fun fact. Lassie, even though she was a girl dog in the film, was never played by a male. Was played by a male. Lady the direwolf in Game of Thrones was a northern Inuit dog, and she was a bit of a nightmare. I don't know. So, Crystal, the Capuchin that I mentioned, she was in George of the Jungle, Night at the Museum, The Big Bang Theory, and Community. She gets paid. In 2012, she was listed as the 5th highest paid actor in Hollywood. She raked in $108,000 in 2012. Just some other facts that were out there. The mountain lion who conquered Hollywood. What is that about? Oh, I forgot to do that. Dang it. I will be trying to fix some things in lives because I learned that I could go in and set up captioning. I don't know how well it works. On this channel, I can do that. Hi, Nature Fan. So we will hopefully be getting that up and going. Hopefully for the next live tonight. I love it when I do that. ASSALAM. Oh wow, it actually spelled it out. Okay, peace be upon you. I can deal with that. Praga. Yeah, thank you. If you could see any extinct animal in a film, any preference? Oh, oh. Um, Triceratops. Have you ever seen Attack of the Killer Shrews? So, in Attack of the Killer Shrews, which is a classic sci fi horror movie, the shrews were actually dogs in costumes. Did I miss? Oh. Um, there have been movies where lizards had fake sails put on them to make them look like dinosaurs in movies. Who is the dog in Frankenweenie? don't know. I didn't know there was a live action version. Peppy? In Tim Burton's 1984 live-action Frankenweenie short film, Sparky the dog was played by a real bull terrier. But I don't... That's all I know. Is Peppy. Hello! How are you? Yeah. I liked Wishbone. B-O-O-M. Whoops. B-O-M-B-O-C-L-A-T. Then I think you need to get a job or something. I could use 10,000 US dollars too. But this is definitely not the right place for that. My favorite animal is all the ones behind me. Spiders are cool. Oh, sorry. Oh, Carrie, I did find out the rest of my talk for Sunday. I don't know. That's a really good question. Let's find out. Hold on. Hold that thought, D-Man. Actually, crypto was fake. Crypto is fake. In the Superman movie. Oh, no, don't. Spider. Large spider with red and yellow stripes. Yeah. But let's see if we don't have to do that. Is that the spider? D-Man? Or is that not it? Yeah, but you didn't know. That's not it. There is another possibility. Yes and no. They are venomous, but I don't know to what degree. Like, if the venom is dangerous to humans. This is a new one into the country. Okay. I can't I can't access Instagram while I'm live, so I will look at it once live is done and then let you know. I mean, that's a possibility, but eh. Ah, they're babies. Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. I gotta listen to something. Yeah, spiders are everywhere. Pretty much. Spiders spiders are fun, but there's a lot of them. Okay, guys, we are an hour and 14 minutes over. I have to work on some stuff, not just for the channel, but other stuff. So I need to let you go. D-Man, I will immediately get on Instagram and check out the picture. And I will let you know when I find out. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming in. If you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you tonight at 6 p.m. for a chat.